Welcome back. This is a new video about creating an application with Swift and Xcode. Today, as I mentioned before, we want to create a quote app. To create this quote app, we are using a table view. What is a table view? A table view is basically a particular way to display our content. You have table view everywhere. For example, in contacts, this is a table view. The table view has cells, basically the row of our table, but also you have section. For example, in contact, a section is a group of row under a particular letter each. Okay, but we have plenty of example of a table view. Also, for example, in WhatsApp, we have the visualization our like table views. What we want to do is a quote app, as I said. Basically, we want to display a list of quotes, like in this case. Obviously, there are some dummy data just to display something in our application. And when you click on one row, you want to see the detail of this row in the middle of the screen, but also as a title of our page. And then we want to go back. When we start when we open Xcode. In Xcode, we are going to create a new project. This project has name QuoteApp. Okay. As a storyboard, Swift as a language. We have to save this data. I create in my Mac a folder called project for this series of video. And now we have the usual first page of our application. Basically, is a bunch of information, but for now we don't need to change absolutely nothing in this one. We have the storyboard. The storyboard is how our app has to work. What we want to display to the user. This is a generic one. This is a view controller. But in our case, we don't need a view controller because we said we want to have a table view. Also, we know this view is connected to a particular view controller, the code basically. And here you have the class view controller. Basically, this class is this file. We have to do something similar for the table view, but for now we don't need the view controller because we want to create a table controller and we don't want to reuse this file for now. Then I move to trash this file, and in the storyboard I don't want to use a view controller. Then I delete the view controller. Our storyboard now is completely clean. And then I'm going to add from the library a table view controller. Okay, here I drop the table view controller in the storyboard. We don't have a class, as you can see here. We have to create a class right now. Then file, new file. In this case, I'm going to use the QuoteApp class. This class has already what we need for the table view. Then here I'm going to say quote table view controller. Okay, and in the subclass I have to select UI table view controller. If it's not selected from the drop down menu, you have to select this one. Then next, you have to save this file in the folder, and here we have the template for the table controller with a lot of code. We'll see this code in a short while. But first, before we forget what we have to do, we have to connect this table view with this file. Then everything is correct. Here you can click on the arrow and you can find the table view controller. Okay. Now, if you select iPhone 11 from the list, you play to see what is the result of this first step in the creation of the QuoteApp. You can see we have our first app with nothing in it, okay? But it's a table controller that is working here. How I know that? If we are going back to our code, you can see there are a lot of code here, but in particular, now I want to see these two functions. The first one is the function called number of sections. How many sections we have in our app? We don't have a group of row because we don't need that in our app, and then we can say all of them are in a very one big group. Then I just say one. Then I have to define how many rows I want to display in the table view. At the moment we don't have any content, but let's say I want to display 10 cells. Okay. Now again, if I press start, the build succeeded. The app start again, maybe. And what we'll see is basically I delete the app. I we see the 10 rows in the application. If not, I'm coming back here in a sec. Yes, why the screen is black? This is important, I forget to say. Basically, in our storyboard, we don't have any entry view controller, and then the application doesn't know where we have to start. For this reason, if we click on the first icon here, we are going to this application inspector. You have is the initial view controller. We have to click this one, and then you see the arrow is here. Now, if I play again, probably we can see a white screen at this point. We have okay, an error. Perfect. No worries. We can see why now. Okay. For start, we go to our view controller. The connection is here. You can see there is no data source. The data source is nil. What does it mean? Means we have to populate some cells to display something. For this reason, I'm going to uncomment this one. This function gives us just information about what cell the application is rendering. You can see there is some code. At this point, I'm going to remove this code and I'm going to create a dummy cell. Then I'm going to say UI table view cell. Okay, in this cell I'm going to say that the text label of this cell is just quote. Then what I expect is to see 10 rows in our table view, because I set the 10 in the code, and now you can see the list of quotes. Okay. Then we have at least something, but I want to display a list of quotes in this case, not just a dummy text. For this reason, I can define an array. To define an array, I'm going to define this variable quote, and I'm going to add some text. For now,